Have you ever had those moments where you're pushing really hard and you're reaching for something, a big, audacious goal? And you find yourself, no matter how many hours you put in, that you're getting exhausted, overwhelmed, and frustrated. In this video, I really want to unpack that because recently I noticed that my drive to succeed was actually killing my productivity. It seems really weird, but let's unpack this. So, I am Coach Jenelle and I help high level achievers like you, CEOs, leaders, entrepreneurs, build lives and businesses they love by doing what? Reclaiming their time, their energy, and their focus so that they could move from grind to greatness. Let's talk. So, I was pursuing a goal recently and I noticed that I was becoming really, really tired and fed up and frustrated of everything. And it didn't matter how much was working, something wasn't working for me. And I'm like, what's really wrong with you? Like, I had to really sit and sup with myself, if you will, and say, what's really wrong with you? And I started to realize three things that was wrong with me. Number one, my mornings had become really rushed. I would rush through the morning. So I would wake up late because I'm so tired from working late the night before. And then I'd be rushing, right? And I wouldn't have time and I'm in traffic and it's just one thing after the next and the entire morning would just be chaotic and busy and I would just feel like I was expending energy and I felt like I was losing my connection to myself. I was losing my connection to God because of how busy I am, right? So I said to myself, something must be wrong. How could you be achieving so much on paper, but feel so disconnected from the achievement? And it's because I was leaking energy. And I'm sure you've been in that spot, high level achiever, where you have on paper, everything is great. But there is something inside of you that says something is missing. And you feel very disconnected from your goals and from your achievement. Because this is the thing. When we don't take time to pour back into ourselves, it doesn't matter what we achieve externally, we are going to end up burnt out. We are going to end up in a place of frustration and overwhelm and exhaustion, feeling like nothing we've accomplished is actually worth it because it's only worth it when we don't feel like we lose ourselves to achieve it. I want to repeat that. The goal and the achievement is only worth it when you did not lose yourself to achieve it. So if you stay up late and you get 5 hours, 3 hours sleep, right? How are you pouring into yourself the next day? And some people may think, well, that's not necessarily. No. Let me tell you something, right? I want you to imagine that every time you expend energy, think of a tap that is connected to a tank being open, and that tank has a finite amount of water in it. So when you expend energy, you're opening that tap, right? And if you keep opening the tap, and you're never refilling the tank, what's gonna happen? One day you're gonna open it and it's gonna be empty. And that is what was happening to me. I was so busy, I was not pouring back into myself while I was achieving the goal. And I am asking you, you're trying to scale that business, right? You're going from 6 to 7 figures, right? Are you pouring back into yourself? Or is your calendar just cramped with team meetings? Is everything just cramped with what you do for others that you forget you are also important to yourself? So if you count assets in your business, I want you to begin to count yourself as an asset in your business because that is who you are. Your business, to some extent, you may have all these systems and the structures, beautiful by the way, but guess what? The business still needs leaders. The business still needs you. So when you pour and you pour and you pour and you pour and you neglect to pour back into yourself, you are actually sabotaging the very goal you are in pursuit of. Because if for whatever chance that you achieve that goal, you may very well be disconnected from the result. So it was a simple thing like mornings. How I started my mornings that was actually throwing off my productivity. It was killing my productivity. So I thought if I would do more, that meant more productivity. But it's never more productivity when I have to neglect myself to achieve that. And I'm telling you, you're not going to be more productive neglecting your needs. You're not going to be more productive neglecting the sleep you need. You're not going to be more productive neglecting the rest you need. You're not going to be more productive neglecting the relationships you need. You're not going to be more productive. So if you don't know where to draw that line, you're going to end up in trouble. And it's a line that I perpetually have to find. I have to keep recalibrating that again and again because I'm not perfect at this. I'm a high level achiever. When I focus and I go guns blazing, right? But there are times I have to fall back and relax and rest and find rhythm again. So there are the 3 leaks I was telling you about that I realized. And the first leak, as I spoke about just now, was I was waking up late and starting my day rushed. And I was not spending as much time in my Bible or prayer as I needed to. Because I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, right? And so it means that I start my day off with prayer and with reading my Bible. But when I was rushing because I was late, everything was thrown off. I threw the rhythm off, and therefore I began to feel off. Energy leak number 2, taking responsibility for what wasn't mine. Let me tell you, one of my coaches says that every breakthrough must be protected by boundaries. Every breakthrough must be protected by boundaries. Now, let me add to that. Every time you have to achieve a goal or you have achieved a goal, it's going to require boundaries. You either reinforce old ones and you even may sometimes have to create new boundaries. So I felt responsible for things that had no business to do with me. And you know what was really sad about that whole thing? When those people and those projects and those tasks that I felt responsible for, when I spoke to the people who were actually responsible for it, they told me that I wasn't responsible for it. Can you imagine that? So why was I wasting my brain space that I can be using to invest in my business and in my personal life, thinking about other people's businesses and their personal lives? I'm not talking about clients, right? I'm not talking about clients. That's a different thing. And even then, there is a boundary line there. So I am trying to say to you, when you overcare, like me, when you overgive, you're pouring energy into someone else's bucket and their bucket is actually overflowing and you are starved of water. Imagine that. Would you put water into an overflowing bucket? You won't. So why are you taking what's precious to you, your energy, and you're pouring it into others whose buckets are already overflowing? As an overgiver, you have to be mindful, right? What is the reasonable amount of energy to give to this? Because if it's a task that requires 15%, no one asked you to even give 20%. And you will say, well, it's just 5% more, 5% too much. Because you can take that 5% and pour it into something that actually matters. Pour it into your marriage, pour it into your children, pour it into your physical health. But because you are over concerned and you are over caring, you do not have the energy for what actually matters to you. Main character energy. What does that mean? So if you watch the Oscar Awards, there is the main character, an award that goes to that person, and then there is the supporting actor or actress. And I'm trying to tell you, you have a supporting role in people's lives, but there is one role where you are the main character, and that is in your life and that is in your business. So keep main character energy for main character exploits. Keep main character energy for the things where you are really the main character and no one else could play that role. That's what you know a main character role is. Nobody else could lead the business. Nobody else. You can find another CFO, you can hire another VA, you can hire another stock taker, but no one else can lead the business. So you need to do the things that leaders do. Lead. You need to lead. The third thing, I wasn't enjoying my life. And I know when we are high level achievers, we get so bullseye, we get so focused, we forget that enjoyment is a thing that is actually important, because when you cannot enjoy the achievement, what good is it? When you cannot enjoy the journey, what good is the achievement? So somewhere along the way, my work started to become all grind and no joy. And let me tell you something, going from grind to greatness means that you prioritize joy. So when last have you done something that genuinely brings you joy? I'm talking about unadulterated joy. All your 32 teeth, if you have all 32, are showing, and it's white and it's glistening, and you're laughing and your belly hurts and you're just feeling like life is worth living, and you're not even thinking about the business. When was the last time you felt genuine joy? Because when we don't feel joy, we don't have strength. Creativity thrives in fun environments. So before I do these videos, if you see my bloopers, you would laugh. So I tend to sing. So I sing anything that comes to my head, right? And I just laugh and I have a good time because I get myself really, 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 really relaxed before I come here and talk to you. And so I'm saying to you, prioritize fun. Whatever you have to do, stop being so serious all the time. Do you know why I could say this? Because I was so serious and rigid, and now I'm just being me, laughing, knowing when to be serious, because there's a time for everything under the sun. So prioritize joy. How can you invite joy into your space, into your day? Make joy a priority in your day, even as you work, even as you lead. How are you leading? Not just out of obligation, but with joy. So, I want you to remember a couple of things. Do not disconnect yourself from the goals and achievements you are in pursuit of or you already have. Don't do that. If you don't start your mornings off well, you're probably going to ruin the day. And any day that you don't recover is a week that you lose, a month, a year, years. That's how it goes. So when you get this information, what you're going to do is execute. And I talk about minding the gap, right? It's not just about listening to these videos. It's really about being more introspective and really asking yourself, is this me? Am I who? Am I doing this? The second thing is, I want you to remember to only take responsibility for what is yours. Main character energy, right? The Oscar doesn't go to supporting actors in this part of the company, in this part of your marriage, right? Nobody's a supporting actor in your marriage. It's only two main characters there, and only you could do what you can do. So please do what you can do. And the third and final thing is, I want you to prioritize your joy. It's really, really important. Now, if this video helped you, I can help you some more. And that's the truth. My passion is to help high-level achievers like me, like you, leaders, CEOs, entrepreneurs, reclaim time, energy, and focus, because we have to come out of that state of grinding to greatness, that state of stuck to unstoppable. But we have to do it by doing what? Building community and helping each other. So I have an exclusive community. Don't tell anybody. I decided to just give away so much stuff, and it's free. But I want you to join, and all you have to do is click that link. And once you click that link, you just answer 3 very simple questions, and one of those questions is actually your email. I mean, how easy is that? Just click the link and join the community, because it's a space where you learn to thrive. You get clarity, you get focus, everything that you feel is missing from your life in terms of your connectivity to what you are pursuing, you get that in that community. So click that link and let's stop those energy leaks. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the Unstoppable Tribe. Take care.